Well, after a bye week, Florida State football and the head coach Mike Norvell back in action and back at home inside of Doak Campbell Stadium, fired up for what's going to be a family weekend. And the Noles getting ready for game number 3 of the 2025 campaign. Top 10 Noles, ladies and gentlemen, rated number 7 in the most recent AP poll. And we got a great program for you. Welcome to Battles in College Town and to Inside Seminole Football. My name is Jeff Culhane. Great show for you. We've got Jerry Wilson here tonight, Florida State cornerback. How about Tony White tonight, Florida State defensive coordinator? And of course, give it up for the head coach of the Noles, Mike Norvell, everybody. Good to see you again.
It's good seeing you.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Too long, Coach, I'm sure, for you especially.
Yeah,
and they're
absolutely.
fired up. Yeah, exactly. Be back here Monday night. Bye week, going to work still, but it's nice, I know, to get a little bit of rest physically, mentally, heal some bumps and bruises, and it lets the coaching staff get on the road as well and do a little recruiting.
No, I mean, it was a good week for us, and, you know, at this point of the season, you know, getting 2 games under our belt, you know, every rep matters. And for a team that, you know, we have a lot of new faces, you know, guys that were here a year ago that have really, you emerged in their new roles and the opportunities that have been provided, some true freshmen that have been able to get in. I think we played 17 true freshmen in the last game. So guys that have really got to show themselves, and you are all working to be able to define you know, what their role on this team and the impact that they can make. And you know, but with all the new, I mean, it's so important that we continue to grow together, that we continue to develop that cohesiveness, offense, defense, and special teams. You know, obviously we started off the right way this year, but we got to see that continued progression. And you know, I think our guys had a great mindset during the bye. We had a really productive week of practice, and tried to make some uncomfortable situations, tried to challenge them with the good on good work. I mean, we introduced a lot of crowd noise, trying to force a heightened sense of communication, and just really just to see that growth. And I think our guys embraced it the right way, and we got better this last week.
Yeah, when you talk about it coming out and taking advantage of every rep and every opportunity, to your point, like you said, there's the newness and still trying to gel together and continue to develop that chemistry as a football team overall. From a mental side of it, what were some of the things that you sort of identified, hey, this is where I want to challenge our guys? You talk about the crowd noise, but this is what I want to see during the time we have, even though we don't have a game on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it still comes down to the communication, the overall execution, on each and every play. There's some things that showed up in the first couple games where, the overall result was good, but, still a lot of areas that we need to get better, and we need to be able to clean up some of the mistakes that showed up, where you might have 9, 10 guys execute in a certain way, but there might be a little bit of communication issue, or maybe just an overall understanding, or just the efficiency of how we're all working together. And so really kind of going back to the baseline fundamentals of that, and pushing that expectation, but also creating the outside distractions, and whether it's crowd noise, whether it's different drills that we tried to get more repetition on. We got some 2 minutes, some third down, working in the red zone, all these different situations that are forcing guys to think and have a better understanding of what to expect, but also seeing 11 guys operating as one as we're pushing to go get better.
Yeah, Florida State leads the ACC in scoring offense, rushing offense, fewest penalties per game, and scoring defense. And one of 2 teams, and the only team in a Power 4 conference to lead its conference in both scoring offense and scoring defense. Your rushing attack, you identified a great group of veteran offensive linemen early in the process. They have gelled together very well for you early in the season. And, Coach, week 2 after the East Texas A&M game, Adrian Medley was named ACC Offensive Lineman of the Week in what was a dominant performance over East Texas A&M. Talk about Adrian a little bit. That's 2 offensive linemen now with he and Luke that were able to go out and get that award with their play up front in the trenches.
Yeah, I mean, 2 for 2. I mean, Luke Pettibone in week 1, obviously Adrian, in week 2. I mean, that's a tremendous compliment to those guys, on the offensive line, and for Coach Hand and the job that he's doing with them. If we can continue that for the next 10 weeks we'll be feeling pretty good
good,
about things.
yeah.
But I'm really pleased with that group, and there is a lot of experience, but it is the first time that they're all getting to do this together, and the way that they've worked together, the way they've really spent a lot of time outside of the facility, and really spending extra time together working that communication like we were just talking about earlier. But I think that's going to be something that's just going to continue to grow, and you've got guys that are very capable. I know I've mentioned Jacob Rizzi on the show before.
Yeah.
The guy that I see as a starter as well that can really fill in and compete in a lot of different places along that offensive line. Some young guys that are really coming along. So I think it's been a good first couple of weeks, but definitely proud of that offensive line and the job they're doing, helping us establish the run game as well as the production with some of the down the field shots that we've been able to hit as well.
Yeah, 9 rushing touchdowns through 2 games for this Florida State offense. A tremendous start. No question about that. Hey, time now for our truest hero of the game, going back to week number 2 in that dominant performance against East Texas A&M. And you're seeing some of the highlights on the stream, the live shot right now. Duce Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, was the ACC wide receiver of the week as well. And Tommy and Duce were able to link up on some big plays, an 82-yard score right there. And then how about this one? The one-handed grab with a defender draped all over him in that north end zone, making a great play. And that first quarter, there have not been any other performances by a Florida State wide receiver from a statistical standpoint like Duce put together in that first quarter of the game. Really impressive stuff, to say the least.
No, absolutely. And we talked about wanting to start fast as a football team a week ago. And I thought our guys really were able to go out there and execute that. And for Duce to have that type of game, I think it was 160 yards there in the first quarter. The big plays. What I loved was the timing. You looked at the first touchdown. I mean, we had a good play action fake. Tommy was able to get to the top of his drop. Duce did his job to be able to get open, but to be able to have a throw and catch, it shows the time that they've poured in together. Through the summer workouts, fall camp, and then the second touchdown was just an incredible throw. Great one-handed catch. Even through a pass interference penalty that was thrown. To see that finish was really big. And Duce is a guy that we need to step up. And I know that he's. We've talked a lot about his big play potential, and he has really answered the call for what this offense is needed here early in the season. And excited to see what he's going to be able to continue to contribute.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. 4 passes, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first quarter alone for Duce Robinson, the most in a quarter at Florida State by a wide receiver since 1968. Historical stuff for Duce, to say the least. As we are live from Bowden's here in College Town, a proud partner of Florida State Athletics, and of course, our home for Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell, here Monday nights during the football season, live in College Town, 7 to 8 p.m. We see a big guy out there doing the war chant, Coach. He's giving you the war chant out there on Madison Street. All right, let's go. There he is. We got people watching from everywhere, up top, in the courtyard, out beyond the screen here at Bowden's in College Town. We'll take a break. Coming up, Coach mentioned true freshmen that are getting in the mix. They're definitely stepping up big time for Mike Norvell's Noles. That and more on the way. We're back after this timeout.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Wallace.
When your health is on the line, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare is here with the most advanced medical care in the region. TMH is home to the top heart and vascular program, the highest level of care for premature babies, the area's most powerful cancer center, and the region's only Level 2 trauma center. TMH is setting new standards for medical excellence, driving research and innovation to bring the best care to our region. TMH is your lifelong partner in health.
Hey, your voice is amazing. Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more.
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find.
You're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same is true.
This is Inside Seminole Football with Coach Norvell. Let's rejoin the coach with Culhane.
All right, great to be back on a Monday night live from Bowden's here in College Town. Big round of applause to Ava and Charlie, everyone, here with us tonight. Thank you so much as they welcome us back in from timeout. And always great to have the Golden Girls and the Florida State cheer squads here with us this evening. Mike Norvell with us here in the first half hour of the show. Jerry Wilson later on. Tony White tonight. Coach talked about how your true freshmen are getting in there and they're making a difference for you in the first two games of the regular season. 17 true freshmen played in that win over East Texas A&M, and you had true freshmen that contributed in big-time ways in the win over Alabama as well. What's that saying about the guys you're identifying and how you're already developing those guys early on in their careers at Florida State?
Well, I mean, it's a great testament to the work that they've put in. You know, obviously the talent that they have, and you know, just being ready to seize the moment when their number's called. And you know, I felt very confident, you know, going through fall camp that we were going to have, you know, 7, 8 guys that I thought had a chance to help impact this team. But just seeing these guys grow in their confidence on a daily basis, you know, it's a very mature group. And you know, as some of these guys are coming in, you know, the only way to get experience is to go out there and to play. And you know, but you got to be ready. You got to earn those reps. And you know, I think this group has you know, really shown the work ethic. You know, you know, also the humility to be able to listen and to take, you know, the advice from, you know, some of the older guys that have been there, and then just, you know, pouring everything that they have into it. And so been really productive, and you know, some guys that, you know, they definitely don't look like freshmen.
No, they do not. And tough transition, as you talked about, having the humility to go out there, because you come in heralded, everybody talking about you, loving up on you, and you come in and you got to, you know you're going to have to work, but there's growing pains to that across the board.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, and these guys, I mean, you want guys to come in confident in their ability, but you know, it's such a big transition. And you know, especially you look at these guys that are playing in the defensive line. You know, some of these guys that, you know, are you know, being forced into action. You know, it's different skill positions. I mean, they've come in with a level of confidence, but they're also they realize there's certain things that they're just not going to know until they get out there. So being able to take the advice of an older player, guys that have been there, that have done that, their willingness to come in and to get some of the extra work and doing the things necessary to make sure they're on point with their calls, the concepts of what they're being asked to do, and now it's just the overall execution and details of what it takes to put themselves in the best position. But when they get out there, I mean, they're playing hard, they're playing fast, they're playing physical, and really doing a good job of finishing.
You mentioned guys up front defensively having an impact, and the Duce twins are definitely going out there and playing hard for you the first 2 games. Mandrell and Darryl out of Miami Norland High School. These guys have come in. They look like upperclassmen, Coach. Obviously, there's plenty of room to grow. They've only played 2 college football games, and it feels like they've been out there for you for 2-3 years already.
No, I mean, and their mentality really helps them with that. And I think T. Knight has done a great job coaching and preparing these guys for what they're being asked to do. I think Coach White does a great job of schematically being able to let those guys really kind of pin their ears back and go attack. But the game is slow to them, and I say that as a great compliment.
Yep.
They're not, regardless of whether they're playing inside, outside, whatever alignment that they have. And the speed of the game is not overtaking them, and they're trusting the training, and they got great guys around them, but they're cutting it loose and going to play Florida State football.
Everybody has been excited, obviously, and for good reason, for your running back Usman Croma, who the second he stepped on the field versus Alabama, everybody, I think, was waiting with bated breath to see what he would do, and boy, did he do something, going out and just running through tacklers and spinning off of guys and playing physical. I know he's great out of the backfield as well, catching the football, had near 20 touchdowns receiving as a running back in high school. How would you describe to people here the transition for him and how he's stepped in and really stepped in without any sort of lack of rhythm at all for you?
Yeah, I mean, Oz was a guy that, I watched him in high school more than any player in my coaching career. I from his freshman year, it was the first time, that I got to see him play, and I remember, he was playing, they were playing Lowndes, and I think he had 200 yards rushing as a freshman. And, I came into the game not knowing who it was, but I was like, who is that guy? And I looked on the roster, and he's a freshman, and, we offered him that next week, and, it's been a part of the process of just growing and building a relationship. I watch him play basketball, football, so nothing that he's doing is shocking me, but it's also, I'm proud of him for the way that he's come to work. He steps on the field, and he wants everything to be right. And I think I mentioned today in the press conference, he really kind of is a perfectionist, but he's learning with every rep, and you can see that the talent and the ability is there. I mean, I think one of his first carries, he broke 5 tackles, just throughout against a really good Alabama defense. Last week you got to see him score a touchdown. They're catching the ball to the backfield, and he's just continuing to grow. He's he's one of those guys that really does a great job of listening to the older guys that have been there, trying to really understand the details and the fundamentals of the work. But it comes down to going out there and having fun playing the game of football, and he's doing a really nice job of that.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch, to say the least, and we saw a lot of freshmen get into the action. 90 players able to get on the field for Mike Norvell and his Florida State football team in the win over East Texas A&M. Hey, Culhane Seminole fans, enter the Rivalry Weekend Sweepstakes presented by Florida Farm Bureau for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Miami game on October the 4th, a one-night hotel stay and a Mike Norvell autographed helmet. Sign up now at Seminoles.com/FFBI sweeps. You can also scan the QR code that is on the slate on your screen as you watch the show right now for your chance to win. Scan that QR code presented by Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. And also brought to you in part by Wolfson Children's Hospital. Odds are beaten here. Wolfson Children's, always here. Official Children's Hospital of Florida State Athletics. And we're excited to partner with Wolfson Children's Hospital as the presenting sponsor of the Seminole Sports Network. Coming up, we're going to talk more about Coach Norvell's Florida State football team. How about the versatility of Amari Williams and what he did in the win over East Texas A&M and what he's going to do for this team moving forward. And, of course, we'll have our Scott and Wallace keys to success as well. That and more on the way. You're listening to Inside Seminole Football on the Seminole Sports Network, presented by Wolfson Children's Hospital.
Florida. Home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
When your health is on the line, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare is here with the most advanced medical care in the region. TMH is home to the top heart and vascular program, the highest level of care for premature babies, the area's most powerful cancer center, and the region's only Level 2 trauma center. TMH is setting new standards for medical excellence, driving research and innovation to bring the best care to our region. TMH is your lifelong partner in health.
Hey, your voice is amazing. Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more,
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find.
you're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking.
More from Coach Mike Norvell coming up on Inside Seminole Football.
And experience comfort and convenience in the heart of the city at 4 Points by Sheraton Tallahassee downtown. With stunning floor-to-ceiling windows, our rooms offer some of the best views in Tallahassee. Sleep comfortably and cheer proudly. 4 Points by Sheraton Tallahassee downtown. Welcome back inside Seminole Football. Live from Bowden's here in College Town. Coming up, we'll talk with Jerry Wilson, Florida State cornerback, stopping by the show. He grabbed his 6th career interception as he picked off a pass early on in the game versus East Texas A&M. And Tony White here later on in the program as well. Talk about versatility. You got a lot of guys that do a lot of great things for you. But, man, Amari Williams is a fun follow. Obviously, as a young player, he's doing so many different things for you. He's playing on both sides of the ball, catches a touchdown pass, gets a sack versus East Texas A&M. Is he going to get in the kicking game at some point here, maybe? Could he do that for you, you think?
He might be asking for it. I mean, that's pretty good combo. I think what was it, over 45-yard touchdown reception,
Yes.
the quarterback sack. That's not usually on the stat sheet
No.
a whole lot, but he's a very talented and versatile player. Really been focusing more on the offensive side just due to some injuries that we've had and things that have showed up. But really is just continuing to grow, and I think as his career continues to progress, just that versatility, the impact that he can make. I mean, we're excited about what that can be throughout this year, for this football team. But he's just an extremely hard worker, and I was really proud of him for the performance there on Saturday.
Yeah, Coach, and from a mental perspective, just the overall mental capacity and understanding of everything that he's got to do on both sides of the ball without skipping a beat. I mean, I know you're putting him spots where he's going to be the most successful at the same time, but that's not many people can do that, obviously.
No, and it's a lot. And,
Yeah.
that's really where, for him to help him just continue to grow and progress, because it's one thing to know what to do. It's also, it's how you do it. And it's the techniques, the fundamentals, the overall execution on a play in and play out, basis. And so, I mean, it is a lot on him. I think, both, Chris Thompson, Coach Knighton have done a really nice job of being able to maximize the time that they get to work with him, and then, just to, for him and the investment that he's making, it's a tremendous compliment to just his overall, understanding, but also, to his work ethic to make it all happen.
Rare to see that happen in the game, but not rare in the Mike Norvell era. DJ Lundy accomplished a similar feat at Boston College in 2023 with an interception, touchdown run, and a sack in that game. So
Amari better get his game right.
I guess
we need the interception to go along.
He's not doing enough. He's just not getting it done, I guess, apparently.
We'll talk to Coach White later about dropping him into coverage.
That's going to be a question for Coach White later on, that's for sure. No doubt about it. Hey, let's get to our Scott and Wallace keys to success as Kent State comes to town Saturday afternoon. Sold-out crowd inside of Doak Campbell Stadium, 3:30 p.m. Eastern kick. Cannot wait for that one. Scott and Wallace, the official injury lawyers of Florida State Athletics with offices in Tallahassee. I tell you what, I know the Golden Flashes have not had the success in the wins category, but, man, I thought, Coach, Saturday against a good Buffalo team, they're fighting, they're getting better, and I know as a football coach, you respect what you saw on film in a big-time way.
No, absolutely, and, obviously when you see a team that goes out and, they were able to create the explosive play, they had, more explosive offensively, were able to create multiple, takeaways there on the defense side of the ball, and it's a team that's growing in their confidence, and, this is, they had a tough offseason, they got the interim head coach. I think he's doing a great job, there with the staff and the team, and as you've seen them through the first 3 weeks, I mean, they're continuing to go and get better, and so we know that we're going to get their best shot as they come here to Tallahassee, but, as I said in the first 2 weeks, and, it still holds true. I mean, this is about us. This week, or the bye week, our week of preparation is just for us to make sure that we're pushing, ourselves to go be the absolute best that we can be, continue to grow together, and, to go out for 60 minutes and play Florida State football, and if we do that, I've got a lot of confidence in what this team can accomplish.
Yep, 3:30 p.m. Eastern kick again. Sold-out crowd inside of Doak Campbell Stadium. Coming up, we'll get Coach's final thoughts as they get ready for a big week, getting ready for Kent State, and our great moment in Florida State football history presented by Bowders in College Town, a big win against a MAC school. We'll talk more about that and more when we return live from Bowders in College Town. We are back after this timeout.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Wallace.
Live from Bowden's, here's Jeff Culhane.
Back in live here at Bowden's in College Town. Welcome back inside Seminole football with the head coach Mike Norvell as the Noles get ready for Kent State on Saturday. The Golden Flashes come to town, 3:30 p.m. Eastern kick inside a sold-out Duce Campbell Stadium. Time now for a great moment in Florida State football history, brought to you by Bowden's in College Town. Go back to the 2012 Orange Bowl against another MAC opponent as Florida State had their way in Miami Gardens against the upstart Huskies that night. There's Lonnie Pryor down the sidelines on his final game as a Florida State football player. E.J. Manuel as well making a play right there. Touchdown pass into the back of the end zone. And then Florida State's defense aggressive, getting after Jordan Lynch in the Northern Illinois offensive attack, en route to a 31-10 win, and that led to a 12th win in that 2012 season, setting up, of course, a great year that we all remember fondly in that 2013 national championship season. Our great moment in Florida State football history, brought to you by Bowden's in College Town, the home of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. Monday night, 7 to 8 p.m. By the way, not here next Monday because of the shorter week with a Friday night game, because Monday is a Tuesday, and Tuesday is a Thursday, and Wednesday is a Friday.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean,
pretty close?
Pretty simple, too.
That's how the schedule will work next week, everyone. So no show next Monday night. We're back 2 weeks from tonight on the 29th of September. All right, Coach, final thoughts here with you in our last segment. Appreciate your time as always. Get back going Tuesday. Kind of take me through the week, the challenges, and some of the things that you're going to be harping to your guys getting ready.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the work. And, you know, at the end of the day, we've done the things that we needed to do up to this point. You know, I thought we did a great job of utilizing the bye week, but now we're back into game mode. And, you know, I thought we started off with a really good practice there on Sunday. Our guys showcased speed. You know, they came in with the right mentality. And now, you know, tomorrow just has to be the best Tuesday that we've had. And, you know, the competitiveness within each position, you know, obviously offensively, defensively, what we're continuing to do in special teams, but it's about putting our best foot forward. And if we'll attack tomorrow with everything that we have and continue to grow throughout the course of the week, then we put ourselves in the best position to go showcase our best, you know, in front of a sold-out crowd come Saturday. But, you know, excited about this team, excited about what they've done, but, you know, it's all here in front of us, and we got to go do it.
Yep. Coach, thanks for the time. As always, can't wait to see your team on Saturday.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody coming out. Can't wait to see you guys Saturday night, and definitely looking forward to a great atmosphere for family weekend. You know, it's always a special weekend here in Tallahassee, so look forward to seeing everybody, and go Noles.
Head coach Mike Norvell with us, everybody, here live from Bowden's in College Town, as our program brought to you in part by Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable, so start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering, and care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. Coming up, he's been a fun one to get to know. We'll get to know him a little bit better. Jerry Wilson is with us on the main stage. That and more after this timeout.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
Florida. Home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
When your health is on the line, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare is here with the most advanced medical care in the region. TMH is home to the top heart and vascular program, the highest level of care for premature babies, the area's most powerful cancer center, and the region's only Level 2 trauma center. TMH is setting new standards for medical excellence, driving research and innovation to bring the best care to our region. TMH is your lifelong partner in health.
voice of the Seminoles, Culhane.
All right, we're back in. I can't tell you how excited I am for our next guest to be with us. He could probably do the whole show by himself, but we're going to have some fun here over the next 5 to 7 minutes, and we'll introduce him here momentarily. Time now for our Garnet and Gold Gear of the Week, presented by Garnet and Gold. This week's feature item is a new arrival, a Nike Dry Fit Coaches Polo in gold. That's looking pretty darn good right there, that Nike Dry Fit Coaches Polo in gold, as you see here on the main stage. Garnet and Gold has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years. Visit one of the 3 locations here in Tallahassee and pick up your new game day gear, Garnet and Gold. Let's give it up for Jerry Wilson, everybody, here with us. Kissimmee native, cornerback, and making things happen here early on at Florida State. It's great to see you, as always. How would you describe your time in Tallahassee so far? How much fun are you having?
I'm having loads of fun, man. I'm around a bunch of guys that just love football, and they've embraced me with open arms, and it's second to none being here at my dream school, man. Just everything, top to bottom, from the coaching staff to the players to the equipment guys, the training staff, everybody just been so cool. It's been easy to work with everybody, so yeah, I'm happy.
You love football as well, and we're going to talk about your work ethic a little bit here, but how young were you, your first memory playing football, and you knew that it was the sport that you loved the most?
4 years old. 4 years old. 4 years old, playing for the Kissimmee Cowboys, running all around the field, man. It's always been a dream to be in the NFL. I always used to wait, you feel me, during school just for recess, just so I could go play.
Yeah, I understand. And we talk about your love for the game, and that sort of morphs into your work ethic. Duce Robinson said that you are the first guy to the building, to the facility every day, and it got competitive for him, where he'd even wake up a half hour earlier, yet you'd find out, and you'd still beat him there. He's like, was Jerry sleeping in the Moore Center? Like, what's going on? How was that work ethic instilled in you as a person? Where does that come from, Jerry?
I guess it comes from just watching my parents go hard every day. Back when I was a kid, you know, my mama working in the hot sun, grooming dogs. My dad just always working. And when I get home, he sleep. When I get up, he's going to work. So, you know, watching them work, it made it easy to just work at something I love to do. You know, so yeah.
How early do you get to the facility?
Around 5:15.
5:15?
Yes, sir.
5:15 a.m.
Yeah.
Is Duce getting close to beating you there?
Yeah, not just him. Yeah, sometimes Earl beats me there. Sometimes Elijah gets there before me. Ash, man, it's fun going against them, like competing that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, one of the things that I've heard about you, as we've gotten to know you a little bit over the last handful of months, your leadership skills. Someone described as the leader of the DB's room. Yeah, you've only been here. Didn't get here till after spring football, Jerry. How you know when you're coming to a new place and you're looking to sort of to mesh with your teammates? Kind of take me through that mentality of, hey, I'm coming here to work, but I also want to come in and get the chemistry going and be a leader at the same time. What's that focus like?
The focus for me was show everybody, you know, what I'm about. I'm not coming here to, you know, for the cameras or anything. I'm just coming here to work. I'm coming here to help win games and, you know, mesh with the team. And another focal point was just hanging out with them as much as I could. Yeah. Like, you know, I spent time with the guys, you know, individually a lot. So, you know, we formed a real brotherhood in the DB room, and not just that, just as a team, like offensively, even in the defensive room too, like everyone's just so together. Like even all the, you feel me, all the transfers that came in, they just gelled with everybody who was here last year. So, you feel me, like that was a big focus point for me, you know, and they consider me a leader because of how I work, but I don't consider myself anywhere above them or below them. I just want to be, you know, one of the guys. That's what makes it so authentic for me.
Absolutely. Jerry came up with his 6th collegiate interception of his career versus East Texas A&M early in the game against the Lions on Saturday 2 weeks ago, just under 2 weeks ago. Here's the plays. We're watching it right now. Felt like you were reading the quarterback like a book, Jerry. Take us into your helmet on this play. What are you thinking? What are you seeing?
Oh, man, I'm just like, they caught the ball on me 2 times before this. I'm like, they better not keep going this way. Like, it's going to be a problem. But yeah, it was a great call by coach, man. He put me in a great position to go, use my skills and go read the quarterback, and I went and made a play.
Yeah, you did. There's no doubt about that. This is not your first opportunity to play for Tony White. You played for him at Syracuse, straight out of high school at Osceola High in Kissimmee. How would you describe Coach White, the person, Coach White, the coach, to you?
He's a competitor, man. He's a competitor. He don't like to lose, man. That's why I love him. I love him. He don't like to lose, man. I'm telling you, like, it's so fun playing for him because, he's going to challenge us as a defense every single day. Like, there's going to be days where you don't want to be out there, but he's going to let you know, like, you here to win. Like, you ain't here just to, mope around or do none of that. It's Florida State. And I love the way he calls his defenses. It's aggressive. It allows us to play ball and get takeaways and have fun and fly around. And a lot of the stuff we do, that's not football related gets us closer together too. Like, we do fun stuff on Thursdays, you feel me? Like, we just do good things together. Like, he's a good players coach. So
yeah. Absolutely. We're going to hear from Tony White coming up momentarily. Cannot wait for that. You cut your hair, Jerry. You cut your hair.
Yeah.
What happened?
Man, so all right, let me tell y'all what happened. All right, let me tell y'all what happened. I got tired of looking up for the ball, and my head I just stopped right there. Like, I couldn't look up for the ball anymore. Like, it got so thick. Like, I was just like, I can't let it get in the way of catching picks, man. So. Yeah.
Jerry, that's a real good decision. That's a strong decision right there. You can't let your hair get in the way of a few more picks. That's right. That's right. Hey, we appreciate you, man. It's been fun getting to know you a little bit, and everybody out here really is enjoying watching you do your thing out there. Keep rolling, all right?
Absolutely. Appreciate
there you go. Give it up, Jerry Wilson, everybody. This guy's going to make some plays for the Noles. Already has and will continue to here in 2025. That conversation presented by Seminole Booster. Did you know that FSU Athletics is self-supported? It is not funded by tax dollars. We rely on fans to join Seminole Boosters so your teams have the best chance to succeed on and off the field. Membership starts at $5 per month and comes with great membership benefits. Go online to SeminoleBoosters.com to learn more. Coming up, defensive coordinator Tony White is with us on the main stage. Can't wait for Coach White. That and more on the way. We're back after this timeout.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Wallace.
Florida. Home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Hey, your voice is amazing. Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more.
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find.
You're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking.
And our program brought to you in part by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. Here to remind you that if alcohol is in the mix, driving isn't. Plan ahead, designate a driver, grab a ride share, or stay put. Winning starts with smart choices. Drive sober, arrive alive. Go Noles. And also brought to you in part by Grassroots Coffee. Every time you buy Grassroots Coffee's End Zone Blend, a portion of each sale goes directly to Florida State's football program. Order the coffee that supports our Noles by scanning that QR code right there on your screen, or go to grassrootscoffee.com. Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere. Got a QR code on the Grassroots Coffee bag here as well. Tony White, are you a coffee guy, Coach White?
But my wife is. We might have to get some of that.
Well, right here it is, right here.
Right here.
End Zone Blend, there you go.
Loam right here.
There we go, see? We got parting gifts. Okay. It's like the Price is Right up here, isn't it? You know? Tony White, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause. Florida State defensive coordinator. What a start for your group. I think everybody's just been so impressed, Coach, by the speed, the physicality, the aggressiveness that your defense has played with through the first 2 games of this regular season. How would you, evaluate your group right now?
Yeah, it was a good start so far. It's really fun to watch the guys go out there and execute and play together as a unit. You have a lot of guys who play with a chip on their shoulder, and guys like Jerry who came over. You got Jenkins who came over. You got Steph Thompson, Deontay McCray. You got a lot of guys who joined the family, and it's just fun to watch them all mesh, watch them all understand what the standard is, and go out there and play the way Florida State defense is supposed to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry Wilson, man, he's a fun guy to talk to. I'm sure he's a fun guy to be around, and obviously he makes a lot of plays for you. You've known him for a long time. What do you appreciate the most about Jerry, the person, and Jerry, the player?
Yeah, Jerry was like that when we first recruited him out at my old school.
Yeah.
He's family, and it's just fun to watch his career mature and see the young man who. Not very many guys truly live what they speak. Truly relish every moment that they get, because they know their time is limited. And he's a guy who understands that, and he's a guy who, like I said, he's the first one of the first ones in the building. He beats me in there, so I'm gonna step up my game. You know what I mean? But it's just fun to watch him play and watch how infectious his attitude spread throughout the locker room and the guys on the team, both offensive and defensively. And it'll be fun to watch.
Coach, I really felt like, as you follow your defense, you listen to the things as well, you preach, and the expectation that you set real early on in fall camp, you were unapologetic about, hey, this is how we're going to do it, and we need to play at a certain level, no matter if you're a first-year guy or a fifth-year guy overall. Just kind of go into that expectation of excellence and the standard that you set in fall camp that you're continuing to hold your guys to here early in the season.
Yeah, coming over, it was much easier than other places. Coach Norvell, he sets the standard, and it was really easy to come and see. The formula was already laid out there. You saw the undefeated seasons, you saw the continuous growth, you saw the players put in the NFL, you saw the dominance that they had, and so the standards were already set. It was just making sure that we reinforced them the right way, with the guys in the locker room. With sometimes that meant deletion, sometimes that meant the addition to the locker room, and so coming over, it was easy, and it was just a matter of making sure, number one, the coaches were all on the same page of how we're going to do things, and then, again, real credit to the guys. You got guys like Jerry, you got Juice Cryer, you got D-Jack, who very well easily could have gone to the NFL, but chose to come back here, and he's relishing his moment and his time with his teammates. And James Williams' addition. You got a lot of guys who again, they came over here understanding that we're going to play with a chip on our shoulder, and they're buying in, and they're performing on the grass.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And a lot of people, as we look at your defense, the 3-3-5, you're moving guys around, you're really trying to create confusion and attack and keep offenses on their heels. You've got a lot of numbers up front. You played 10 guys in that first game against Alabama along the defensive line. Yeah, 10 guys up front. Yeah, and you were able to get after them and be effective in that first game overall. When you have that depth and that want to out of guys hungry to go out there and make a play, What does that do for you as a defensive coordinator and how you call things?
Yeah, you know, the great thing that does is it's because you're confident in the guys, you don't have to hold back. You can just call the defense knowing that the next guy up is going to have the same standard, play with the same attitude that the first team guys. And again, it's a credit to the players. You know, you tell them one thing, that if you prepare a certain way and you do things right and you believe in the process, that you're going to get a chance to go out there and step on the field. Well, if we don't give them that opportunity, then they're never going to believe in you, because they're investing in you, but you're not investing in them. So being able to let them go out there and let them live on the grass and let them show, like, hey, you know what, they belong and they put in the preparation. I think that just reinforces the process, you know what I mean, of guys rooting, guys cheering, guys preparing the right way and doing what they're supposed to do.
He leads the #1 scoring defense in all of the ACC. Tony White with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take one more time out, come back with Coach White, and wrap things up on a Monday night live from Bowdoin in College Town. We're back after this timeout.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
Great crowd tonight, live from Bowdoin in College Town. I want to thank everybody for coming out once again here on Monday evening. We appreciate you all very much for being a part of the program. A reminder, we will not be back here this next Monday, so mark it down. Sorry about that. I don't make the schedule, everybody, so it's not, you know, I'd hang out with you every Monday night if my wife let me. She probably wouldn't, but maybe one day down the road we can make that happen. Next show is on September the 29th back here at Bowdoin in College Town. As our program brought to you in part by Carver's Discount Cleaners, mean on stains, green on earth. Try new Eco Green Dry Cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners, 1215 North Monroe Street in Midtown. Back with offensive coordinator Tony White. Coach, getting ready for a Kent State team that, again, has not had the success they would want to have in the wins and losses column overall. But, man, I really thought they fought their tails off in the game against Buffalo this past weekend. 3 touchdown underdogs and some big play capability they showed in the offense with some of the things they do.
Yep, Jeff, you hit it on the head. You know, they had the coaching transition, the coach left, and so they were trying to find themselves. I think the first 2 games, you know, they're going through things, but they found a little bit of a formula here this last week. They scored a lot of points. They moved the ball and almost beat a really, really good Buffalo team. So we figure that that's the formula they're going to use moving forward. You know, first way you lose any game is to disrespect your opponent. So we're gonna get Kent State's best. So we better prepare right.
Yeah, no question about that. You know, we talk a lot about the newcomers on the team and the freshmen who have all stepped up and done some nice things. You talked about one of our returners that I'm a huge fan of. Juice Cryer, I think, is just an impressive young man and a guy that flies around and just loves to play and make things happen. What has stood out to you as you've gotten to know Juice here over the last 7-8 months overall?
Yeah, I saw the article where he came in there early on and said, I didn't think this stuff was going to work, and then sure enough, later on he's all good with it. But Juice he's fun. He's really fun to be around. He's lively. He's on the grass very similar to Jerry. He's just a guy who he's a coach's son, and so you can see that he's always trying to learn and understand the game to a different level. And so him going out there and just showing the world how good he really is and how much of a leader he can be, that's a testament to that young man, his family, and the work that he's put in.
Coach, one of the guys you challenged everybody, but Daniel Lyons, I know you really challenged him in a big-time way in fall camp to take some steps forward, and seems like he's caught on to it with you because he was very active against Alabama, active against East Texas A&M, and it seems like he's hearing the message and doing some really good things for you.
Yeah, it started off in the offseason with Daniel. He put on 40 pounds, and usually if I put on 40 pounds, I wouldn't be able to get off the couch.
Same here.
Here he is running around against Alabama, So it's a testament to him and how much he wanted to get better and wanted to be a pro. And secondly, it's with the bond he has with his D-line teammates and T. Knight, the standards that they have in that D-line room and the things that they do. Again, it gives him confidence to go out there and perform, and that's what you saw. He's a guy that when you go back and watch the tape, you see the stat lines and you don't really see the production as much, but when you watch the tape, he directly affects the game. Just like D-Jack, he directly affects the game and where the ball is going. So hope to see great things from him this year.
Got about 30 seconds, but you mentioned Terrence Knighton a couple of times, defensive line coach that came with you from Nebraska. How would you describe Coach Knighton as a guy working with you in the defense?
Yeah, death row. The best thing about him is he cares about those young men, and he's really emotional, but he truly cares about those young men and the bond and the camaraderie that those guys have in the D-line unit. It's fun to watch. It's really refreshing because a lot of times I don't even have to yell over there. They just look at T9 and they know what's up, and so I just leave them alone.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Coach, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so
Great.
much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
That's
Thank you,
Tony
everybody.
White, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, make sure to tune into Game Day Live with Ari Masudi, Eric Llewellyn, and Emily Peters before all Florida State football home games. The show begins an hour before kickoff and runs 45 minutes total. Watch it on the Seminoles on Concord app. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and go Noles. All righty.